There's new items coming for many classes. We'll have a look at those and how it affects each class. And there's even more events and more ways to get legendary crest. On their website, they also have a part where they will be introducing the bug fixes or like very small changes to the game that they do throughout the week. So this will be changing every single day about bug fixes. There's some small bug fixes right here about Cycle of Strife, the UI and the shop. These are very minimal, but the actual patch is right here. This will be down in the comments of the video. So class change and new features debut in Diablo Immortal. So getting things started, all the items mentioned below will go live on July 20th at 3 AM server time. So yeah, in actually a couple of hours, it seems that the patch will be live. Specific dates for content going live afterward are provided below because there's also some more content coming. So class change, what they basically say right here is that we'll be able to change your class from, let's say, a barbarian to a wizard. This will have a 1 week cooldown and will be available since level 35 onwards. You may change your class once every 7 days at no cost. There's also a one-time option to immediately revert to your previous class, skipping the 7-day waiting period. So that is very good because let's say you regret going from wizard to barbarian, you want to go back to the wizard, you can do that immediately, or you'll have to wait 7 days. There are no current plans to allow players to purchase the ability to change more classes more frequently. When you change to each class for the first time, you can set the appearance of your character. That's all right. And a full reset of Paragon trees. I like that one actually, because I wonder if you can actually abuse that one with resetting your Paragon trees and then reverting back. I'm guessing you can do that, but it's only a one-time thing to immediately revert to your previous class. So it's a one-time thing. All clan, warband, and other social group affiliations will carry over. That's good. Some class-specific cosmetics and gear will not carry over when you change classes. I'm not sure about this. I'm guessing the battle pass cosmetics, but I don't like this thing. All gear equipped to your previous class will be available in your inventory. So your gems, you can take those out and equip it on your hero. Any cosmetic zones for a class will be retained in that class and will be available upon changing to it. So the only thing that people care about is what is the gear that we're gonna have for the new class. Well, you're gonna have placeholder gear, which I'm guessing will be something that will have similar stats for your level, for the items level that you had before, but will not actually be an item, will not be a legendary to use, and you'll have to use like basic skills until you start getting more legendaries and then using those to extract the essences and do all the basic stuff. And that's how it's gonna work. I kind of hate that, to be honest. And also the fact that your gear, it stays in your inventory. Like the stash space that we have within the game is very minimal, so it's gonna fill up very quickly with all the gear that you'll just send over there. I wonder if the secondary pieces of gear, those stay, and it's only the class specific legendaries that will matter. Because other gear, like the set items, they don't vary between classes. Although, let's say the wizards, they do get intelligence compared to strength, where classes like the crusader get strength. So I wonder how that's gonna work. If all of the gear is gonna be removed, even the rings and set pieces, we'll just have to see tomorrow, right? When people start to change their classes. So a big new thing is coming, the hero's journey. This is gonna be big because this will give you a good amount of platinum, 900. And the legendary crests. So what is this going to be? It's a new end game experience that unlocks for adventures during the Frozen Tundra portion of the main quest line, consisting of 4 chapters with 2 more planned for the future. Hero's Journey will send you to complete metal testing objectives that scale in difficulty as you rise in Paragon level. That's okay. If you prove that you're up to the task, a bounty of rewards is here to greet you upon completing each chapter. These range from large sums of gold or platinum to aspirant's keys, legendary crest, and even a glorious journey portrait frame. Pretty solid. I like the rewards. And there's also going to be an adventurous path limited time event. And what does this say? July 20th. So from tomorrow until August the 3rd. So 13 days. As you complete adventurous path task, you'll earn gold, enchanted dust, and scrap materials for your heroics. Racking up enough completed tasks will also unlock milestone rewards for you. So 10 aspirant keys, portrait frame, and a legendary crest. So I like both of these. So it's the hero's journey and the adventurous path. So it's two different things. So more crest is what I'm seeing, and I'm loving it so far in terms of they're hearing some of the complaints from the community, especially for the free-to-play. I've read through more of those. I want to see even more crests, to be honest, but I don't know if it's being greedy or it's too much. We'll see. There's going to be a new boss introduced to the Heliquary. That is fine. We need to have those bosses coming every month, and this will be available August 2nd. So we've got Vitat and LaSalle at the moment. This will be the third boss. I wonder what the CR requirement for this one will be. But by August 2nd, that's going to be another 2 weeks from now. All of us will be about Paragon 120, 130 event, closing into the next Hell difficulty. So Hungering Moon limited time event, the one that we just had, will have more, and where you basically get blessings, and when you get 7 blessings, you even get 1 legendary crest. This will happen on July 29th, so that's going to be next weekend. I'm liking it. It doesn't take too much time. You do the stuff that you already do anyway in the game, and you still get the rewards. Amber Blade cosmetic set. This looks cool, but I wonder what it's going to look like on the Crusader. This is just a cosmetic set that you'll have to buy, purchasable from the in-game shop, so it's not something that everybody gets for free. And let's look at some feature updates. So this is the very important part. Completing a weekly Warband raid will now allow you to purchase an eternal legendary crest for 1,600 platinum. So 1,600 platinum, by the way, that's a little bit more than 5 days of doing your daily activities, because you get 300 a day. So in 6 days you get 1,800. You'll be able to purchase an eternal legendary crest. These can give you the gems that are tradable, by the way. And that's weekly, so that's for a week, for a month, sorry. So that's okay. I would have loved if this was higher. The Fading Ember cap has been increased from 200 to 280. This is from farming, so every week you do some farming, right? So the Fading Ember cap will be boosted to 280. I like that. Also, it means you can farm more far runes. You may now trade 22 far runes for an eternal legendary crest. So these used to be like you would use the 22 far runes for a legendary gem already that is tradable anyway. But getting the eternal legendary crest, I'm not sure about this and why this is better than before. But what it says here, this means that you can now craft a random legendary gem once per week if you max out your Fading Embers. This used to be like every 10 days or so. So this is actually a very solid change. So 1 legendary crest a week here, 1 legendary crest a week here. So that's 2 a week that you get free. You get another 1 for free from being a shadow or being an immortal, either doing the Keon's raid as an immortal, or if you are a shadow, you do the shadow war and you win. So that's a bit more difficult compared to doing just the Keon's raids for immortals, which is also not guaranteed for everyone, because Keon's, I remember this was not available to all the members of the clans. Like 300 members of immortals, you couldn't do 300 members worth of Keon's every week, at least the first week and even the second week, if I remember correctly. New monster affixes. Shell summons a defensive shield preventing life loss until it's destroyed. That's cool. That's like, it's gonna make our life a little bit harder to kill the enemy. Siphon channels a draining beam at one target that slows and leeches life to heal for 5 seconds. That's cool. Svensson's Haunting, there's a change a little bit to how the description of the gem is. And now basically it used to sound that it relates to summoning, but it's not. When you defeat an enemy, a dark beast attacks nearby enemies. So it's pretty cool. Svensson's is, by the way, a very good gem for classes that lack some AoE damage. Bloodsoaked Jade, increase all damage you deal by X% while at full life, with a minimum bonus of Y%, while at low life increases your movement speed by Z%. Basically now to reflect that the movement speed is flat and doesn't change as your life changes compared to the damage portion of the gem. So we're gonna have 36 new class legendary items. So that's 6 legendary items per class, I think, or maybe more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's 6. Yeah. So let's get started with barbarians. I hope each class gets some good ones. I only looked at the Crusader ones. So Ground Stomp now rips open the ground, dealing damage to enemies in front of you. Maximum X charges. That's cool for big AoE damage. Doom of the Cow, activating Wrath of the Berserker, now immediately reduces the movement speed of all nearby enemies. Crowd control. 5 Fresh Claws. Whirlwind now shreds armor, increasing all damage enemies take by X%, stacking up to 5 times. This is very good. This is because Whirlwind is used by the barbarians already, but we don't know the places of each legendary. Lunatic Twin, when Frenzy is fully stacked, each attack unleashes X damage to all enemies in front of you. Good. Paste and Powder, Hammer of the Ancients now randomly drops hammers in the targeted area multiple times. Sounds good. Trembling, Undying Rage also increases your movement speed by X%. That's already a strong skill, Undying Rage, because it makes them unkillable. So from the Crusaders, I like this one. Falling Sword now calls flames upon the heavens that burn enemies. I'm guessing it's over time. Condemn now immediately detonates all of its damage on enemies it hits. This is also pretty good. Condemn, it's a very good skill. Consecration now protects you and nearby party members, decreasing damage taken by X%. Is that instead of damage, it's going to be protection? I guess. Equal portions, Sacred Chain no longer constrains enemies, instead forming a chain of flames between enemies which burns other enemies that touch it. I think this will be good also. Shield Glare now burns enemies for X damage over Y seconds. Judgment now conjures a continuous beam of light from the heavens which moves under your control. So that's gonna, I wonder if it's top down or if it's like a channeling like the Shield Glare, on how that works for Crusaders. Let's have a look at Demon Hunters. Escape now launches X homing rockets at nearby enemies when activated, each dealing Y damage. Vengeance now increases your critical strike chance by X%, but causes you to lose Y% of your life every second. I think the Demon Hunters will love this. This one right here. Multi-shot now fires all arrows in a targeted direction and can strike the same enemy multiple times. Impel now causes enemies to bleed for X damage. Knife Trap now scatters multiple mines. No longer has multiple charges. Good. Smokescreen now hurls an acid bomb that damages enemies continuously. Alright. Let's see the Monk. Imprisoned Fist now continuously launches punches in a direction you can change while channeling. No idea about this one. Exploding Palm Bleed effect now has X% chance to be detonated by other attacks. This is huge. I wonder if it means other attacks, like by my attacks on an enemy that the Monk has. Then Seven-Sided Strike now attacks repeatedly at the same direction, knocking back the enemy each time. This is huge, I think, for crowd control. Wave Strike turns into a pneumatic ball that pulls in and continuously damages enemies. Nice. Flying Dragon damage increased by X% for each enemy hit. Cyclone Strike now produces a dust storm that impairs enemy vision and decreases enemy movement speed. Solid. Let's look at the Necros. Falling Sword now calls enemies from the heavens that burn enemies. Wait, is this? This looks like a... This is the wording for Crusaders. Bone Armor now causes your summons to continuously damage nearby enemies, but no longer protects them. Okay. Grim Scythe now increases all damage you deal by X% for each enemy hit. This sounds big. Bone Armor now reduces all continuous damage you take. Very tanky. Corpse Lance now causes enemies to decay. Skeletal Mage now shoots continuous rays at enemies. Alright, okay, for Wizard is the class that I also have an alt account, so I'm happy about this one. I can read through them. Arcane Torrent now launches missiles at random enemies around you. Ray of Frost now creates an ice shield each time it damages an enemy. I wonder how big of a shield that's going to be if it makes the Wizard tanky a little bit so he can survive a few hits, even on high CR. Scorch now hurls a ball of magma that bursts when it strikes an enemy, creating a pool of magma and burns and stuns enemies. Good crowd control. Arcane Torrent damage increased by X%. Ray of Frost now creates an illusion that channels a beam of frost in the targeted direction. This is more for PvP, I would say. Arcane Wind also applies an X% reduction to movement speed for Y seconds. Alright. And that's it for the patch. Overall, you saw the increase in about 3 Eternal Crests a week. I believe the Fading Embers cap is boosted. We're gonna have one from the Warband purchasable through Platinum. So Platinum will now be basically lost from players because they will be using that for sure for buying the Eternal Crest every week. overall, I think it's a solid change. I want to see more events and stuff coming to the game, and almost every week we should have like something for the weekend for players to do. And yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction, especially with more communication from the company through their other blog post, which will have updates every single day on what they've been changing and what they've been fixing. So what do you think about the patch? Will this make you come back to the game and change maybe your class? I'm probably not changing my class. I'm probably staying with the Crusader. I'm enjoying the Crusader and how good he is in terms of groups and helping the group do more damage. That's what I like. Overall, just I think it's a good patch. I wanted to see some more changes to the way that gems work in terms of gem power, and how the higher stars of gems maybe give you more gem power that will make upgrades easier, and maybe scale a little bit on how the gem prices are, because at the moment gem prices are proportionately lower for 3 and 4 star gems compared to the 2-star gems, because of how unneeded they are. The 3-star and 4 stars, they're not needed anymore compared to the 2 stars. The 2 stars have a constant demand because they're needed for upgrades, but the 3 and 4 stars, they lose value, especially from whales, because whales do not need the 3 stars and 4 stars. They'll go for the 5-star if they're such a whale. All right, if these gave more gem power instead of the 32, which is flat, if they gave maybe double that for the 3 stars and then maybe triple that for the 4 stars, then this might have been a different discussion for upgrading a gem and getting it to the next level, and also make it a little bit more friendly to players out there who are looking to cause some upgrades to their gear, also the free-to-play and all of that. So this was the video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. See ya.